Your walls are boring. Yes, I said it. That blank stretch above your couch. That empty corner in your bedroom. That awkward gap in your kitchen. It's not boring because you lack style. It's boring because nobody ever showed you the one upgrade that costs less than a dinner out, but makes your whole room look like it belongs in a magazine. Today I'm showing you exactly how to install floating wooden shelves and style them, so they actually look intentional, not like a Pinterest fail. Stick around, because a mistake most people make happens in the last step, and if you skip it, your shelves will look cheap no matter how much you spend on decor. Before we get into it, if you're someone who likes turning ordinary rooms into spaces people actually compliment, hit subscribe and tap that bell. I post practical home upgrades every week. No fluff, no filler, just stuff that works. Now, let's get your walls looking incredible. Why floating shelves actually work. Let's be honest for a second. Floating shelves are everywhere right now. In 2026, they're basically the default choice for anyone renovating a living room, kitchen, or home office. But there's a reason they haven't gone out of style. They create the illusion of more space because you don't see brackets or support arms. They draw the eye upward, which makes ceilings feel taller. And unlike a bulky bookshelf, they don't eat into your floor space. If you rent your place, they're also one of the few statement pieces you can install without a massive commitment, since most wall anchors patch up easily when you move out. What you'll need: here's your shopping list, and don't worry, I'll keep it simple. You need your wooden shelf boards. These can be pre-made floating shelf kits or raw wood you finish yourself. You need a stud finder. This is non-negotiable. I'll explain why in a second. Grab a level, a drill, appropriate screws, or heavy-duty wall anchors, depending on your wall type, a pencil, a tape measure, and sandpaper if you're finishing raw wood. Optional but recommended, with stain or sealant if you want that rich, warm tone instead of raw, unfinished wood. Step 1, find your studs. This is where most DIY shelf projects fall apart, literally. People skip the stud finder step and just drill into drywall. And then 3 weeks later their shelf is on the floor with a broken vase next to it. Run your stud finder across the section of wall where you want your shelf. Mark the studs lightly with a pencil. If your studs don't line up perfectly with where you want the shelf, you have 2 options. Use heavy-duty toggle anchors rated for your shelf's weight, or shift your shelf placement slightly to hit at least 1 stud for extra security. Never skip this step, especially if you plan on displaying anything heavier than a candle. Step 2, plan your layout before you drill. Here's something nobody tells you. The biggest difference between shelves that look professionally done and shelves that look like a weekend afterthought isn't the wood, it's the spacing. Before you touch the drill, hold your shelf brackets up to the wall and use painter's tape to outline where each shelf will go. Step back, look at it from across the room, and ask yourself if the spacing feels balanced. A good rule of thumb for a set of 3 shelves is leaving between 8 and 12 inches of vertical space between each one. But this depends on what you're planning to display. If you're stacking books, you'll want more clearance. If it's small decorative objects, you can tighten the gaps for a more layered look. Step 3, install the brackets. Once you're confident in your layout, use your level to make sure your first mark is perfectly horizontal, then mark your screw points. Pre-drill your holes to avoid cracking the wood or wall surface. Then secure your bracket or hidden shelf hardware into the studs or anchors. Double-check its level again before fully tightening everything down. This is the part where patience actually pays off. Rushing the step is exactly how shelves end up crooked, and a crooked shelf ruins a whole aesthetic no matter how nice your decor is. Step 4, attach the wood. Slide your finished wooden shelf onto the bracket or hardware system, depending on the type of floating shelf you bought or built. Give it a gentle wiggle test to make sure it's secure. If it shifts at all, go back and tighten your hardware. This is also the moment to do a final level check, because once decor is on there, it's a hassle to keep adjusting. The part everyone gets wrong: styling. Here's the honest truth, and this is the part one mentioned in the hook. You can install the most perfectly level, beautifully finished wooden shelf in the world, and it will still look off if you don't style it correctly. Most people either overcrowd their shelves or leave them looking sparse and awkward. The secret is the rule of odd numbers. Group your decorative accessories in 3s or 5s. Our eyes naturally find odd, numbered groupings more visually pleasing than even ones. Layering with height and texture. Start with your largest item first. This could be a small plant, a vase, or a piece of framed art leaning against the wall. This becomes your anchor piece. Then add a medium height item next to it, like a stack of 2 or 3 books. Finish with a small decorative object. Think a candle, a small sculpture, or a textured bowl. The goal is creating a visual triangle with varying heights. This is what makes professionally styled shelves look effortless even though there's real thought behind it. Mixing materials for a designer look. Don't just use wood and call it done. The shelves that look genuinely expensive mix materials. Think ceramic, woven textures, a bit of greenery, and maybe a touch of metal or glass. If everything on your shelf is the same material and color, it flattens out visually. Contrast is what makes a shelf pop. A warm wood tone paired with a matte black vase and a soft green plant creates depth instantly. Don't forget negative space. This might be the most overlooked tip in this entire video. Empty space on a shelf is a mistake. It's a design choice. If every inch is packed with decor, it reads as cluttered no matter how nice each individual piece is. Leave breathing room. A shelf that's roughly 60 to 70% filled, with the rest left open, will almost always look more intentional than one that's completely maxed out. Real talk on cost and time. I want to be honest with you. This entire project, including drying time for stain if you're finishing raw wood, can realistically be done in an afternoon. Depending on where you shop and the size of your shelves, you're looking at a fairly affordable upgrade compared to built-in cabinetry or custom furniture. It's one of the highest impact, lowest cost upgrades you can make to a room in 2026. And that's not an exaggeration. It's just math when you compare it to almost any other renovation project. So there you have it. Floating wooden shelves done the right way. From finding your studs to styling them like you actually know what you're doing. The difference between a shelf that looks like an afterthought and one that looks like it belongs in a design magazine really does come down to those small details. The spacing, the odd number grouping, the mix of textures, and leaving that negative space. If this helped you, drop a comment with a photo description of your space. I genuinely love seeing what people build after watching these videos. And if you want more real, practical home upgrade ideas like this one, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.